Alright everybody, and welcome to Whitehead and Crofton Studios. Back with episode 2 here of Mr. Gaston's gameplay. Crofton, what do you have to say to the audience today?
You know what, folks? I'm excited for some great gameplay today. This is a game that I know very well. I was, in fact, in this lobby. You should be seeing some great plays, some rises, some falls, but overall, great entertainment.
Absolutely. And we're seeing something very unusual here to start off with. Mr. Gaston's actually rocking the Zarya here, even though he's normally a Diva one-trick. Crofton, what do you think about this?
I want to say that around this time, he might have been having some difficulties on Diva. Perhaps a couple too many rolls, with a bad taste in his mouth. I think he wants to try something new here, so.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and focus this back on Mr. Gaston here. You see he's right-click jumping, dropping a little bit of his shields here, but it's perfectly fine because we'll get it back here. Preparing
for the sake of the ops.
Absolutely. And see he's preparing for a team fight down main here. The soldier gets absolutely destroyed, but Gaston nonetheless is going absolutely deep, doesn't care at all. We see that.
After that first pick, should be seeing a little bit concerned about team positioning, figuring out where his teammates are, where his supports are, but failed to find out where the team is. Fall a bit short on getting a pick, and the first team wipe is coming up here.
Absolutely. And what Mr. Gaston did wrong there, you see he had 2 bubbles there, and he actually didn't pop either one of them until he got below 150 HP, which is really just telling the enemy just burn me down and kill me. You see, we got a second chance here. Mr. Gaston's going back in with the Zarya. What do you think he's going to do differently here?
This time, I think he might take a bit more of a tactical approach, maybe find somebody out of position, because you don't see him taking that attention from the front line.
Yep, absolutely. He gets the mercy pick here, and he's go ahead and he's laying the pressure down on Jungle Queen, but he's forgetting about the soldier behind, but now he's going for him, and the Mei back here. He's getting hit a little bit.
No bubbles. Keeping the aggression up.
Yep, and he gets the pick, which is really good. It just cleans up what's left of the team fight here. Really good on the team's part here, and we prepare for the second team fight.
Yeah, and even though that worked out for the team, I think we need a little bit more aggression and awareness here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kiriko almost died here due to Mr. Gaston's flub, and okay, we're getting resources from Kiriko. He needs to back up a little bit and get healed, which is really good. Okay, and we see everybody's. Okay. Everybody's like turn on the soldier here. Mr. Gaston's here trying to interrupt the opponent, but he might be a little too deep here. He's getting burnt down really bad. Oh yeah. You see, definitely what we saw there was a lack of awareness from Mr. Gaston's part. He really just got burnt down by everybody there all at once because he didn't see his team dropping back.
Yeah, and I want to see some of these bubbles used in more of a supportive way. Watching out for the team, especially your support. They're the ones keeping you alive. Maybe toss them a bubble here there to keep them alive. Like we see right here.
Alright. Mr. Gaston's really getting back in there. He's trying to lay pressure on the soldier. He sees you engaging, but actually doesn't help you, but wait, he gets in there. Good, pushing the soldier out of the way.
Angle pops a bubble with nearly full health. Perhaps some was charged.
Okay, and
that was down the ult. Can we confirm too?
Absolutely, it's really good. Alright, well, Mr. Gaston has dumped his ult here, but we have 2 more ults from his team here. How do you think he's going to go ahead and play this?
Ooh, could go one of a few ways. I think maybe taking the stairs here, getting some aggressive pushes would be great. He's kind of out in the open here, not a lot of cover. Relying on those bubbles won't keep him alive if you can dump from every angle. The team is engaging from all angles. He can't really find the target. He's looking for value. He's a little bit confused.
Oh no, and the Mei is really on Mr. Gaston here. Pops her ice cube, gets out unscathed, and it's time to go. Can he get out in time, or will he get staggered? Kiriko's dead. Mr. Gaston's probably next here.
The wall, and this is it for him. Going back into this next engagement, what would you be thinking? What's your strategy?
If I were Mr. Gaston here, I'd probably think twice on my positioning here, and I'd probably be a little bit more aware of my team's whereabouts. But you see, Mr. Gaston also sees a problem here, and he's actually going ahead and swapping to the Ramatra, which is very unusual for Mr. Gaston. You see, he only pulls out the Ramatra when he realizes that his current strategy just isn't working.
Yes, and And on an already weird game, not seeing his
wow!
And an immediate melting of his Ramantra.
You know, I think this is really a poor showing Mr. Gaston here. He really just tried to get down and dirty with the enemy, but, you know, they just weren't having it, gunned him down, and sent him back to the spawn room.
Yes, back to the Shadow Room, if you will. Another walk of shame back into the engagement. We really need to find some value, take some pressure off of our Damagulus here.
Absolutely. It looks like Mr. Gaston really doesn't know what to do here, right? He's just poking a little bit. Yeah, really unsure of what play to make. He's playing more like a DPS, like a Bastion at the moment.
Yeah, as a tank, as a front line, you really want to be almost like a team lead. You want to be making the plays, making the impossible possible, giving those call outs. But instead, you see a bit of a passive play and a bit of an awkward place to hold.
Yo, Mr. Gas, he really just doesn't know what to do. He's out in the open. He's getting gunned down by everybody. Gets saved by Lifeweaver.
Pick a target, but can't. Oh, and that's where decision making will really punish you there.
Actually, Mr. Crofton, I do recall Mr. Gaston complaining about that pull back in the voice chat when we did play this game. What do you think that pull did for him there? And do you think it was good or bad for him?
You know, undoubtedly without that pull, he would have died there and likely blamed the support. But I guess the pull that saved him just gave him a more immediate, excuse, something to blame the death on.
Okay, real quick, I want to go over this part here, because in this point in voice chat, Mr. Gaston actually tells me, the soldier here, that I'm going to go in with you, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to destroy them. Right? So I'm like, okay, I jump. Let's see what happens here. Mr. Gaston's following suit, as he said he would. May comes on to me with additional pressure, and he looks at the May, and then he turns around, and he absolutely abandons me.
What an unfortunate situation. And after that pull, he should be looking for value elsewhere. He's probably not going to make it back into that engagement, but instead he funnels himself down that angle again, leaving his team to push down main and fight main.
Alright, here we are here at the start of another team fight. Mr. Gaston's Annihilation. He's ready to press the button any time now. Right, we have lots of ults on the ground. Visor, tree. Mr. Gaston's really just sitting there a little passive here, but he's like pushing him back just slowly but surely.
Okay. Got a little bit of CC on the roll.
Oh no, he can't hit the short. He got him. No, Ash got him.
That's right. That Ash on top of it.
Absolutely, really good follow-up there by...
We have an ult here on the table. We need to be looking for an opportunity to use this and put it on cooldown.
Oh, that we do, and he sees the Orisa going for aggressive play and tries to repel him. Pretty decent by Mr. Gaston here. And I see a really good opportunity to use this ult here. A really good opportunity.
Yeah, we're getting pushed back. Got a group
okay, and he goes for it. But here's the thing. He waits till the shield goes out, and he gets gunned down pretty much. He has to play really passively. Slowly gets pushed out, pulled out of the fight. And he goes back in with no HP, and he feeds.
No. Like he sees red in his eyes. He's given a perfect opportunity to sit back, maybe just another second or two, give Lifeweaver one or two more chances to heal you up, and you can get back in and have a real impact in that fight. But as you see, once he falls, it's only a matter of time before the rest of the team just gets picked off one by one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's agree with you 100% there, Mr. Crofton. Mr. Gaston's really just got blood in his eyes there, honestly. Doesn't really care about what's going on with the rest of the team. Peach is in it for him, trying to get the picks, trying to get the kills, get the stats up.
That smells blood in the water. He gets right back into the engagement.
Absolutely, and he sees Orisa coming up here, pushing the Ashe, and he's, Ashe going for the off angle here. Mr. Gaston, he interrupts here, which is pretty decent, but
unfortunately he's blowing through his cooldowns before the team's there to support him. So then when the team is there, but he's got little utility.
This is just really not good here. Ramantra's win condition is really running up to the enemy and pressing shift and beating the fuck out of the enemy. But we only really see Mr. Gaston press his shift here and go in the melee mode when he's just trying to survive, not to actually push the enemy out of any strong positioning or anything like that.
And we have to question at least a little bit the decision making and positioning, because I don't know if you noticed, but right after that Orisa ulted, he looks at two of his teammates struggling with the Orisa, decides to ignore her and engage the team, but actually places himself in between the enemy team and the enemy Orisa.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We see that's a really big mistake in terms of positioning and awareness of Mr. Gaston. And on top of that, wait, hold on, Mr. Gaston had to whip out the Diva. He decided that Ramatra just wasn't enough.
Had enough of this losing for to turn the game around.
Okay, and he coordinates his soldier here to pick the Torbjorn. He gets back on the bridge right in the middle of the enemy, puts some pressure on the Mercy. Does as much as he can, but he's actually really deep and gets demeched.
Oh, on the Orisa, ready to answer for that demech Diva. No. Absolutely punished.
Absolutely. You know, this is just a textbook example. Mr. Gaston just getting a little way too deep than usual here.
There seems to be a trend of coming back, getting a little too close up the team, or getting just a little bit too deep and falling, and then we're right back into that spawn room and a bad situation for the team.
Oh, absolutely. And Mr. Gaston's one of the lone members of his team left, trying to make a counterplay here, just trying to hold objective, and he's poking a little bit. He's trying to get rid of this Reaper, but it's just not really working out for him. Goes for the ballsy bomb here, and he waited way too long to remech there. Let's go ahead and look at that. Actually, we won't go back there. Mr. Gaston, he really just had another second to remech, and he tried to go for a really greedy squish there.
And then here we have a very dire situation for the team. We get one more opportunity. Everything has to be done perfectly, or else this game will come to an end with a loss.
Absolutely. And here we're really going to look to see what Mr. Gaston goes for here. He's got no ultimate. There's no way for him to quickly remech and get back into the fight if he makes a dangerous play.
Could you pause real quick for the folks at home?
Absolutely. Crofton, what do you have for us?
Yeah, let's take a slight angle back and look at this playing field for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we all know the situation. No time to spare. We need to find these frags. We need to get the picks. We need to wipe this team out. And we just may barely have enough to set up, wipe them again, and take the lead. So, as our decisive front line, he should be getting in there, maybe focusing on the support, just drawing attention, but staying alive above all else. If he dies here, he will definitely not make it back again. So with that in mind, let's look at how this risky dive goes. If he doesn't confirm this kill, things can turn very bad.
Absolutely. And what we see here is Mr. Gaston going for the Reaper. Let's see what happens here. Trying to force the Wraith. Orisa really pushes him out of there. Say it's just not happening. Soldier with the ballsy visor here. Oh, but he forgets about the Reaper. No, this is the issue. This is the issue right here. We're going to play that back there. What just happened there actually decided the game. Mr. Gaston, right.
Immediately abandons his attention. It's like he forgot the Reaper.
Right, absolutely forgot about the Reaper here. Let's slow this back real slow here. We see the enemy peeling for the tactical visor. What does Mr. Gaston do? He's going for the Orisa, the player that is most difficult to kill ever on the enemy team.
And you allowing see coming out from both support.
And allowing Reaper. It's
just not enough.
It's just not enough at all. The Reaper.
Can you bring that back one more time?
Absolutely.
You can actually see, if you look closely, inside of the Reaper's eyes, you can see the moment he realizes the tank completely forgot he existed.
Yep. And here he is going for the game-winning Blossom here, taking multiple resources from the red team. Mr. Gaston, nowhere to be found. Doesn't care about the Reaper one bit. Focused on a soldier who's just minding his own business. Mr. Crofton, what do you think about this play? Mr. Gaston.
Falling a little bit short of glory is something that we've all experienced, but, you know, finding that pick on a Reaper could have been the difference in this game. And even more so, the immediate disengage into diving Orisa was really costly for the team. No support for the back line. Orisa's likely not going to die in this situation. Just not the best decision we could have made here.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. No, it's just really not good at all. And now we're going to go ahead and see what happens as the aftermath of this team fight here. Hopefully Mr. Gaston can make one hell of a ballsy play to possibly clutch up. After all, it's just Orisa. and Mercy. Actually, one thing here, I actually want to let the folks at home know. After this team fight, our Kiriko and Lifeweaver here criticized Mr. Gaston for focusing the Orisa instead of the Mercy here. Crofton, what do you think is the correct play for Mr. Gaston here?
You know, in this situation, the support will likely have each other, because the Orisa, while she can produce quite a bit of damage, if the healers are on top of it with all of their utility, she just won't be able to find a frag. If he goes in, focuses his Mercy, if he doesn't kill her, at the very least, maybe she'll flee or mess up a GA, and she'll be in a much easier spot for even the support to help kill. And then you can find that Orisa, continue pushing the bot, the team catches up, and we're in a much better position. But instead, you can see the tether is attached. You see Mercy pumping heals. So it's really up to Mr. Gaston to pump out and find this damage on the Orisa while the support are trying to keep each other alive. Let's see, can he lock in? Can he pump out the damage? I think he already used his missiles. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we are here, Mr. Gaston, hard focusing the Orisa here.
Missiles
doesn't
get
care.
By Orisa's spear spin.
Doesn't care about the Mercy at all. The Orisa gets the ult off. Now he starts. Oh no, he's not.
But the ult from the Mercy. And we have Battle Mercy on the scene.
Oh no, this just isn't what you want to see here. And now the enemy team's back here. He pops his bomb in an act of desperation. Orisa's on him. Gets the ream. No, he doesn't get it.
And you see the team is back, but we're just in such a losing position here. It's hard to really do anything at all.
Wow, absolutely not. And you know, it's just really bad. This focus on Orisa is actually game losing by Mr. Gaston here. You know, what do you think was his thought process going through this?
You know, if I'm being quite frank with you, I don't think he has the confidence to fly up there, use the missiles in Mercy's face and confirm her. I think he felt much more comfortable shooting the bigger target, the one that he could likely get the most hits off of. Perhaps, dare I say, had some of his damage. He just thought he'd have more impact hitting the Orisa, because I don't think he would have been able to find the shots on the Mercy, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I think I absolutely have to agree with you. And you know, the biggest problem, the most glaring issue I see here is Mr. Gaston. You know, he's really playing D.Va as if like he's a Ramatra or a Reinhardt here. You know, one of the main pros of playing D.Va is that you can really get in the face of these flying champions and gun them down.
Exactly. It's that precise movement that you need. You can really get up in the faces, especially of the support, right? As a dive tank, that's one of your primary functions. So I figured, as a dive tank, you should be comfortable diving when you see opportunities just like that. That would have been the perfect time to show off why D.Va's valuable here. But unfortunately, you just didn't catch that opportunity.
No, absolutely not. And it's just really sad here. This game was absolutely winnable if Mr. Gaston made a little bit of a different decision here, and if he didn't go for the ballsy bomb by being out of position as well.
This dead body lies on the ground as we watch the team get cleaned up, and unfortunately.
Yep, absolutely not. And, you know, Mr. Gaston, you know, there's a lot of ways we can change your gameplay here. What do you think are three of the most glaring issues we see throughout this game with Mr. Gaston, Crofton?
Yeah, let's start with you know what, I'll lump these together: awareness and positioning. If we really seize these opportunities where people are out of position, instead of just diving into a team, you know, with 3 or 4 people ready to gun you down around the corner away from your support, let's take chances like this Torb down here. This was a great, impactful kill. He should be looking for stuff like this all game.
Absolutely. And, you know, Mr. Gaston, you know, he figures since they're down a player, he'll go for the really ballsy dive here. But what he forgets is that he's in the middle of Kitsune, and everybody in the enemy team can fall back, gun him down, demech him, and put him back in the spawn room.
And that is precisely what happens right here. Back against the wall, no front line, leaving his team in a terrible, terrible position.
Nope, absolutely. And, you know, that play was really poor, and I think allowing this Reaper to get this Blossom here was absolutely a huge mistake by Mr. Gaston.
Decision making. That should be our second point. Decision making here. Just taking maybe just half a second more to analyze the situation and realize this Reaper likely has spin, or will get spin soon. Not disengaging just because of the Orisa. I know we have quite a few enemies over here, but right here, if he chooses to stay back instead of diving in, we have a completely different outcome.
Yeah, this right here is the major mistake here. And, you know, anything after that I think we can absolutely ignore, because if Mr. Gaston actually went for the Reaper, going for the most ballsy of blossoms here, this game could have absolutely been saved.
The perhaps most obvious, most opportune Reaper ult ever imaginable. Can we run that back just one more time?
No, absolutely, absolutely can. Let's go ahead and see that Blossom here.
How unfortunate. Looks like the game doesn't want us to show his true errors.
Yes, it certainly does not.
All right, here we go. You see him.
All right, going
for the Reaper. Doesn't work out. Reaper sees him dive in.
And he's like, okay, this is my chance. And he absolutely destroys the McCree with the Blossom here. And you know,
is also on the ropes. The support are focusing each other with no room to support our front line here.
And you see, the biggest issue with this play is that not only was the Reaper enabled to get this crazy Blossom, but in the end, the Orisa never died.
Still alive. It's like, it's almost as if he hear. Let's try to figure out what's going through his mind. He dives in with the intention of killing Orisa, and it looks like he gives up before even finishing the engagement with her.
No, absolutely. You know, I think Mr. Gaston, I think he heard the Blossom, and he was like, wait, am I doing what I should be doing here? And he has had a little bit of confusion. Let's see that one more time.
Even.
Guns the Orisa, and he's like, Blossom? Whoa. I think we got to see that one more time here.
The immediate 360 to
Mr. Gaston's like, what? 3 centuries later, he's like, what's happening back there?
It's almost like he has no object permanence. It's almost like as soon as the Reaper left his field of vision, he forgot that he existed.
Yeah. Mr. Gas just absolutely baffled, and he realized that the team needed way more support.
and he turns around and realizes, oh, it's probably too late for them, and goes for the soldier instead.
No, absolutely game-losing play by Mr. Gaston. And
can we also just get this view from the Reaper?
Absolutely. Absolutely, we sure can. You know, we see the Reaper, you know, he's got Blossom ready here. He's getting a nice off-angle ray to Blossom. Sees that Eva guns her a little bit. Falls back and uses the ray. Here's the visor, and he's like, okay, and the Reaper sees. The Reaper sees what's going on here. The Reaper saw everything. He saw the visor. He looked, he's like, okay, visor. He sees Diva run away.
This is the perfect decision-making and opportunity taking that we want to see from our frontline Mr. Gaston here. Perhaps a lesson or two can be learned from our friend Chica on Reaper.
Absolutely. You know, this play should have been absolutely shut down by Mr. Gaston, because, you know, one of the reasons you take Diva is to get rid of bullshit ults like that.
I think you can see him wanting to go for the Mercy, with the Orisa standing in front of him, and he doesn't go around. Let's watch that again here.
Absolutely. We'll see.
It's almost looking like he's gotten body blocked, and he just says, okay, I'll shoot the Orisa.
He's like, okay, I guess I can't get the Orisa, or the Mercy. Right, he sees the Mercy, and he's like, he's like, I want the Mercy. He's like, oh, okay, I better shoot the Orisa. And Mr. Gaston, he decides to shoot the Orisa, and unfortunately just wastes everyone's time here and
He
gives...
could have killed 3 Mercies by now.
He absolutely could have, or she could at least chased her out of position and put her in a position that will allow Kiriko or Lifeweaver to help shoot her, but not the case here.
And Mercy finds the ult is unkillable, even gets some damage in for her team.
Yep,
And this is just unwinnable at this point.
Okay, and here is another glaring issue in Mr. Gaston's gameplay. The final issue of this whole VOD here. Mr. Gaston, right? He sees the Orisa and the Mercy ganging up on Kiriko. You know, he tries to gun the Orisa still for the last 30 seconds, and you know the enemy team's getting back here. The enemy team is finally back. Their DPS are here. Their other supporters here, and they're all gunning Mr. Gaston.
They're back, full HP. They're angry. They want to win this.
You know,